PGA European Tour is brought to you by Volvo.
Hello and welcome to today's fourth round coverage of the Johnnie Walker Classic at the beautiful garden course at Tanah Merah in Singapore. And very exciting golf it's been. And top of the leaderboard last night was Wayne Riley and Paul Eales all set to see if they could win their second event on the PGA European Tour. This is the first stop of 35 events around the world, and they're playing at the bottom end of that Malaysian peninsula, and a real sporty course this Tanah Merah Country Club has been, over 7,000 yards, par 72, yielding birdies and eagles galore at the start of this new Volvo ranking tournament scene. And this was the position yesterday on the 9th hole, and that was the chip of Wayne Riley from Australia, helping him on an outward half of 32. And the man from Royal Lytham and St Anne's, Paul Eales, well, how about that for a putt to get him into a share of the lead. And Eales, well, he was round in 68 following his 69 and a 67. That's as we left it last night. Riley and Eales at 12 under, but look at the players contesting this title behind him. Couples, Woosnam, and further down the field, John Daly. Ernie Els didn't really get off to a hot start yesterday. He had to settle for a poor round of 72. Many players fancied him as the favourite for this event, coming off that fine win in South Africa last week. But, Els just struggling a little bit. So has the world's #1, Greg Norman. He arrived on a Harley Davidson bike yesterday, so only arriving here on 2 wheels. And somewhat you could say that maybe the wheels had come off for him. But the man making the move today is Scotland's Andrew Coulthard. 5 birdies in a row from the 6th through to the 10th, catapulted him to the top of the leaderboard. And Ollie Carlson, well, he was also out in 32. Paul Curry has made a move, and lots of players making birdies and eagles. Carlson eagling the second. So this bubbling up to be a very exciting finish. Certainly we haven't had a playoff in the Johnnie Walker Classic before, but the way so many players are getting to the top of the leaderboard, well, it wouldn't be surprising if that were to be the case. The rhythmical swing there of Couples. Didn't like that, just leaving that one away on the right-hand side on 11, the par 3. Shortest of the par 3s on the course. And our first glimpse today of the man that is doing all the damage, and it's easy to see why. He's been making birdies. And that, if he holds that, could be 6 out of 7. Els on the 11th, playing with Couples. And that a little bit short. Made a 2 here yesterday, but he's going to have his work cut out to hold that going down the slope if he wants to make a 2 today. Ideal conditions at the moment. We have had some early rain, but fine conditions. Up ahead on the 14th, Daly for a 2. And the wild man is now at 9 under par. And Paul Curry on the 12th. Jersey Open winner. Also looking for his second win on the Volvo Tour. And that one just shooting to the back edge of the green, maybe got a little bit of a flyer off the wet grass. Now Woosnam on 10, that's not where you want to be, 392 yards. Out in 33, 3 under. Didn't make the birdie on 9 that he really needed, which was par 5 that he could reach, but that is a good shot there that he's fashioned to get on the ball onto the green. Wayne Riley, my word. Well, just a little pitch and run from the front of the 10th. Double bogeyed the 7th, but birdied 8 and 9. So Riley, having let it slip, got it back immediately, and that's a good saving chip. And that should certainly give him his par. Bradley Hughes on the 13th. He was first round leader with a 66 in the first round, and well, he's kept those sunglasses on all week in rain and shine, and he's now at 12 under, just 2 behind Scotland's Andrew Coulthard. And you can see the jumbo jet taking off. The airport that's nearby. And maybe the roar of the jet may have just put Ian Woosnam off, but it didn't need much more for that to go in the hole. He's putted so well this week. And they certainly don't come any closer than that little wry smile. Come out fresh after quite a long layoff over the winter. And that the little chip shot from Freddie Couples. And a pretty good touch out of a difficult lie. Never easy to know how the ball's going to come out in a situation like that. Up ahead on the 12th, man with a very fine short game, coached by David Ledbetter. Has been over to see him during the winter. This for a birdie on 12. And they're all making it look pretty easy, and I can assure you it's a very fine test, this Tanamaria course. Any course measuring 7,000 yards, certainly no pushover. L's back on the 11th. Birdie attempt for him, and he needs something to get him going. He's just lost that little bit of inspiration which he found on the first 2 days with those opening 67s. Had a bit of a lackluster day yesterday, and well, not really getting to grips with the putter or lines on the green. Eels to save par on 10. Handsomely done. Had an unfortunate start for him. Early double bogey on the 3rd hole, but he seems still to be fairly confident. Craig Parry, Australia's #1 at the moment. Plays most of his golf on the US Tour now. Birdie attempt on 12. And he won't need much egging on from Coulthard. And Popeye, well, 2 under par now for his round today. A man painting a good picture, Alan Painter, this for a birdie on the 12th with Couples. And I wonder what size the hole is on the greens today, because everywhere we look, players are making birdies. Now, Coulthard, can he move to 15 under? And it's never easy to hole a putt when your playing partner's holed in front of you. So Coulthard just one ahead, but lots of players chasing behind him. And really, this is anybody's event. Water, a main feature on this back nine, wends its way on most of the holes. And up ahead on the 15th, Carlsen, one of 4 players now at 13 under. And if he should hole this, he would tie Coulthard at the top of the table. And always nice if you could hold a putt like this, share the lead, get in the clubhouse, post a score early. And he gave that a fierce dig up the hill. Needed to be positive, putting up the hill into the green. Els on the 11th, this for a par. So Couples and Els both making par. And Els now, well, 4 back. And a man only 2 back, Wayne Riley. And the aggressive nature that he plays the game, I'm sure he'll be aiming this at the flag over the water. He's already been in the water once on the 7th, but he's obviously forgotten all about that. And doesn't he enjoy his golf? And, well, you don't know who he's waving to, but you know he loves being out here. Some people like to remain focused, cocooned in concentration. Well, not this man. Woozy loved to get back into the winning form. Played pretty well early on last year, finished 3rd in Florida in the US. But that happened to be the best finish for him during the year. But things are looking better for Woozy at the moment with his game and with his putting. Eels for par. Carlsen for par. So we're going to take a short break. Andrew Coulthard, top of the leaderboard at 14 under. Ollie Carlsen and Paul Curry at 13. And welcome back to this, the final day at the Johnnie Walker Classic here in Singapore. This is the 15th hole. And this is one of the longer par 5s on the back nine. 563 yards. And Daly's been in trouble, had a go at the green in 2, dumped it in the water, so this is 4th shot. And an outside chance to save par. Daly came to this tournament, really knuckled down, practiced hard in between, obviously keen to put the bad form that he displayed at the latter half of the season, last season, out of his mind, come back fresh. And he's putting forward a pretty good performance this week. On the 11th here, 177 yards. Paul Eales, Ian Woosnam, Wayne Riley, all chances for birdies. First to go is Eales, and just electing to play a little chip and run out with a sand iron, so ball obviously just nestling down a little bit in some longish grass. And pretty nicely played by Eales. Kept his cool yesterday when playing with Ailes, outdriven for most of the day by 70 yards or so, but he just stayed and played his own game. And if he can keep that frame of mind into this back nine, well, with the way players are making birdies today, who knows? He now still at 11 under. And Park Nam-sim from Korea, and 12 under par, joined Boxall and Robert Willis with the lowest round of the week, 65. And Johnnie Walker putting up £3,000 for the lowest score of the week. And those three players looking like they may share £1,000 each, but who knows? The way Andrew Coulthard's going, he might have something to say about that. Carlson, good approach shot. Now Daly on the 15th, this to save par. So unfortunate 6th. And that's going to just stop his momentum a little bit, but he won't be deterred too much by that. Now, can Wayne Riley edge nearer the leader, Coulthard? And he can, and this is a tremendous comeback by Riley after the double bogey on 7. 3 birdies in 4 holes now. So Riley at 13 under. And that early rain that they had here not dampened the fire that these players are producing on this final day at the Johnnie Walker Classic. And they're all doing it. Well, I tell you what, whatever they're spraying on these greens, I wish we could all get some of it so we could hold birdies as easily as these players. So Woosnam now shares the lead with Coulthard. There's confirmation. Coulthard and Woosnam at 14 under. Carlson, Curry, Painter, Riley all at 13. Park Nam-sim with that fine at 65. And, well, Australians number 1 there. 11 under at 9th place. Who is going to win this event? Who knows? This was the firm favourite at the start of the week, Ernie Els. He now languishing back at 10 under. Well, might be his start of something good. That's what they're playing for. £600,000 in prize money, 100,000 to the winner. And of course, Freddie Couples, the holder of the title, love to earn that £100,000 again. Now, could it be this man, Ollie Carlson? And the way the players are playing, well, you think he's got to make a few extra birdies over these closing holes, but as I said before, if he can post a good score, best ever position for him. He's 3rd in the Jersey Open back in '95 last year. His elder brother Matt's a teaching professional. He goes to a different player, Robert Fors, for advice. Obviously, like to keep pretty good friends with his brother. As Aoki from Japan, playing with Carlson, just getting it over that front bunker. And he looks pretty fit and keen, still at 53 years of age, plays most of his golf on the US Seniors Tour now, made a long journey to come here and play. And he was playing with the idea of winning. Howard Clark, Ryder Cup hero, third member of the trio. And that a good approach shot for him on 16. On the 12th now, Anthony Painter. Can he join Coulthard and Woosnam at the top? Up the hill, a little bit right to left. Ooh. Well, it held pretty straight. Never really on the right line. So Painter remains at 13 under. And what a week he is having. First view of Paul McGinley, looking for his first win on the PGA European Tour. Finished second in the French Open in '93. But at 29 years of age, a little bit of time on his hands. And McGinley playing with Hunter and Boxall. Boxall who had that 65 yesterday. And Paul Curry in an awkward spot on the 13th, and that looked a poor lie. But my word, hasn't he played that well? Really almost forced it through the lip. Very awkward stance, and may just have caught a leaf, but it's finished pretty well. Adam Hunter on the 14th, par 3, 180 yards. And how about that? Hard to keep up with the form of these players. It's happening so fast and furiously, and there's another one. So Freddie Couples moves to 12 under par, just 2 back. So Freddie Couples, title holder, keeping just within arm shot. Now Craig Parry, 13th hole. Longest of the par 5s. Birdied the hole yesterday, but that's pretty short. 72, 68, 67 for the first 3 rounds for Parry. And improving on that, and pretty easy to see why they call him Popeye. Not particularly tall, but immensely strong. And this was Coulthard's third shot. Laid it up in 2, but firing it right at the flag, and no holding this man at all. Really on some fine form, did so well last year with Montgomery and Torrance, the Alfred Dunhill Cup. And Curry just sliding that one past for his birdie attempt. So 13 under for Curry. Same as Carlson. Down the slope. And there he now moves to 14 under. And rejoin us in a few moments for more golf. Jeez. So Parry 4 behind at 11 under. 4 behind playing partner. And confirmation at the top. Andrew Coulthard converted that birdie opportunity, so now he's at 15 under. Carlson and Woosnam just 1 shot back. And Curry, Painter and Riley just a further shot back at 13 under par. And par Namsim from Korea at 12 under. Well, one wonders whether Fred Couples left his charge a little bit too late. He's 3 shots back. And this is Paul McGinley on the 14th hole. This is par putt. And he back at 9 under par and shoulders slouched a little bit. Obviously not happy with his round and the way things are going for him. And Wayne Riley stalking around this 12th hole, just gone through the back edge. And conditions here pretty hot and humid for the players. And he'll be left with fairly straightforward little chip and run. Just needs to carry the ball onto the first few feet of the green, let it roll out towards the hole. You can see he's adopting the reverse overlap grip, almost a putting grip, trying to hit this like an extended putting action. Just needs to get it on the front edge of the green, let it roll down towards the hole. And there you can see the ball being carried away on that left to right slope and grain. So he'll have that to save par. (70, 67 and 67). Riley for the first 3 rounds, and he bases himself down in Bagshot, Berkshire, not far away from, well, my home course down there, Downshire, and the Hurst golf courses. And all you people at Hurst looking forward to the Hurst sale later on today. I know you've got snow where you are at the moment. Well, it's raining here at the moment in Singapore, but it's pretty warm. And some pretty exciting hot golf. This rain not dampening the spirits of these players, and certainly not dampening Coulthard's. And here on the 14th tee, Coulthard, 180 yards, par 3. And another cracking shot. Well, he had 2 holes in one last year. And could that be an absolute winner? 6 birdies in his round today, surely now facing his 7th, and looks like that Johnnie Walker course record is under threat. Well, can Woosnam tie the lead, even if it's only momentarily? No, he can't. And up the hill, into the grain, right to left, hard to keep it on the high side. So Woosnam lets a good opportunity go and remains one behind Coulthard, but surely that's going to be 2 in just a few moments. Paul Curry playing with Coulthard must have wondered what's happening. He's 4 under for his round. And 2 shots back. Pretty good shot to the heart of the green. Riley to save par. He'll have gone to school on Woosnam's putt. And beautifully holed, and he's putted so well with this long broom handle putter. So he remains at 13. And Coulthard, unlike Wayne Riley, staying pretty focused. And let's have another look at this superb shot on the 14th. Really good rhythm. Good crisp sound off the club face, and every chance of going in the hole. And a man really focused on trying to get his first PGA European Tour title. Confirmation there, 15 under par. And Carlson and Woosnam at 14 under. Whatever you do, don't go away. We're going to take a short break. But meanwhile, Paul Curry, birdie attempt on the 14th hole to go 14 under. There's the man that shot 65 yesterday, Richard Boxall, and a return of the rain. And this course designed to take all sorts of tropical rains. In the first couple of days they had massive downpour. Play was stopped for an hour and a half while the rains continued to come down, but the moment it stopped, the course was playable after 15 minutes. That's certainly not going to worry Craig Parry. His birdie attempt on the 14th. Never really got line or pace there. And of course disheartening for the players playing with Coulthard, because they can see the sort of form that Andrew is in. And Adam Hunter, Portuguese Open winner last year, on the 15th. The par 5 just laying up down the right hand side, and that's in pretty good shape. And there, just in time to see Coulthard move to 16 under and 7 under for his round today. So one more birdie. Not only will he probably win the tournament, but he'll also get the £3,000 Johnnie Walker course record. And certainly doesn't look perturbed about leading this very fine field by now a couple of shots. Couples in an awkward lie. right down the shaft on the 13th, and not even with his strength able to get up in 2. And difficult out of that lie to stop the ball from overdrawing and pulling away to that left-hand side, especially with the pin cut up on the top right-hand corner. And he'll have quite a slow putt up the hill into the green. Well, there's Carlson. There shows where he is, 14 under. That eagle on the 2nd. Disappointingly made that bogey to be out in 32. But 3 under par on the back 9. And he also a chance to be round in 65. So anybody's guess who can win this tournament from this position. Certainly Andrew Coulthard can't relax, certainly with the way the players are playing. Can't give them even a glimmer of an opportunity, so he's got to keep on thinking about making birdies. This man will obviously know what's going on looking at the leaderboard. He's got to make birdies. He's running out of holes, but he's got a particularly difficult little chip here. Not much green to work with. The ball quite a bit above the green. And you can see his ball there, see how high it is above the level of the green. That just makes it a little bit awkward knowing how the ball is going to react once it hits the green. And spectators, well, they don't bother with umbrellas here. Just keeping cool, keeping dry, same towel. Okay. So Coulson with his little chip needs to pitch it at least a third of the way on the green, just let it release towards the hole. Oh, and playing a little chip and run. Well, not trying to pitch it on the green, and maybe decided not to do that because of a little bit of mud that was on the ball. And good opportunity there to make his par. And top of Frenchman, Jean van der Velde. 6 under par, 1 over par for his round today. Has won on the tour, the Roman Masters, first French winner in fact for some 23 years or so, but not with the opportunity of winning today. And a wonderful shot there by Ernie Els on the 15th. Actually sounded like he caught it a fraction heavy, even though he hit it on line. Didn't get the spin he was looking for. Adam Hunter on the 15th, that's his 3rd. And that's stopping a little bit quicker. And this golf today, real target golf, not much breeze. Greens damp because of all this rain, so once you know what the yardage is, just fire it at the flag, and that's why we're seeing probably so many birdies. Well, Anthony Painter had his eyes and heart set on the £100,000 first prize. He may still get that, of course, but now 3 shots back from Coulthard. Had a bogey-free round yesterday. Certainly not used to this sort of pressure, but holding his own particularly well indeed. And Wayne Riley just in a bit of semi-rough on the 13th, so he'll be laying up down the right-hand side. And has he pulled it left, and there's bunker lurking in trees. It's not the side you want to be down. Maybe a little bit of water getting trapped between the club face and the ball. I'm not sure whether that's Riley's. I think that may well be Coulthard's ball. But on the green up ahead, I'm sure that is the ball of Freddie Couples. And a long outside chance of a birdie. And the way Coulthard's going, he probably needs this. Had a good finish when he won last year in Manila. 3 birdies in the closing 3 holes. And it's close, but not close enough. Perfect. Perfect weight for Couples. Up ahead on 17. Carlson just taps in for his par, so he remains at 14. And up on the hill, playing with Riley and Ian Woosnam. Sorry, playing with Andrew Coulthard and Craig Parry. And that in perfect shape for the man from Jersey. Carlson cleared the way on 17th for John Daly to play his second shot. And like Carlson, letting it drift away to the right-hand side. And probably made the day for that spectator. As long as they don't take the ball as a souvenir. Daly will be happy with that. Daly maybe just a little bit disappointed with his efforts today. Got back into this event with a fine 69 yesterday, but not really managed to get into the thick of things today. So can Anthony Painter improve on his position? Well, he can, only just enough pace to get to the hole, but enough. And I thought that was for a birdie. It was in fact a save par. But for him, that'll feel like a birdie. Adam Hunter down the slope at the 15th. And 11 under par for the Scot, 3 under par for today. Well, they're all doing it. Well, I'm sure they've made the holes here at the Tanah Marie course a little bit bigger. They're actually on the garden course, one of 2 at this country club. Well, can Bradley Hughes make it? Well, he can. Well, anything inside 10 feet is obviously a formality for these players this week. Els on the 14th, the par 3, and that's a long way away to the right-hand side. And a man that looks extremely calm in this sort of situation, Andrew Coulthard, just waiting for his playing partner, Craig Parry, to play. Parry 72, 68, 67, first 3 rounds. Such a gritty player, and he's trying to take the putting out of it. Well, that would have been an eagle. It's going to be a certain birdie. Couples on the 14th, his tee shot to the par 3. And I tell you, it's hard to keep up with the pace the way these players are making eagles, birdies. And like Els, he's let that drift away. What can Coulthard do? He's seen Parry nearly hole it. He's played some wonderful iron shots. And, well, it's safely on. And that's about his worst shot today. And the thing he's got to stop himself doing is thinking about winning. He's got to keep thinking about making birdies. That's what this man is trying to do. He's trying to catch him, and this was his shot a few moments ago. So close to going in. And it won't need much to spark this man. And the action coming so thick and fast. Well, you think we're at a Grand Prix racing event, not a golf event. So Curry, his 3rd shot to the 15th. And good shot for Curry, but just did it a little bit harder than that. And welcome back to the final day's play, the Johnnie Walker Classic. Birdies coming thick and fast. Eagles as well. That was Woosnam on the 15th, just taking a free drop away from a banner. That's Paul Curry on the 15th green, attempting to make his birdie. He remains at 13 under. 3 shots back from Andrew Coulthard. And Woosnam, having taken that drop, not one of his best shots, seemed to get it on the right line, but didn't really get it to carry. Coulthard on the 15th. Not been one of his best holes all week. 1 over par for the hole. And that would have been his first birdie of the week, so he's going to finish the tournament playing the 15th hole 1 over par. So imagine how far ahead he could have been if he'd have played it like the rest of the field at probably 1 or 2 under. And once again looking to the heavens, just seeing whether this rain is actually going to blow away. Daly on the 17th for a par, and good save for John, and putting in a good performance this week, getting back into at least the 70s, but that's a very unfortunate mistake by Curry on 15th, and certainly that's his title hopes well and truly gone. Slips back to 12 under, and just the wrong time to do it. Coulthard just looking down on the green, trying to keep the heart from stop fluttering. No problems with those. Well hold par putt, but playing partner Parry certain to make his birdie after the spectacular 3rd shot. So Parry 12, Coulthard at 16. So Coulthard 2 ahead of Carlson, On the 17th, Woosnam, well, got opportunities to make a birdie on the 12th, but he's fairly well back. And Hughes staying in there, Anthony Painter staying in there, and Riley after that disappointing double bogey on the 7th. Well, he's come back into it with 3 birdies in 4 holes. So don't go away, rejoin us in a few moments after these. Welcome back to the final stages of the Johnnie Walker Classic on the Tanah Merah course here in Singapore, and a very exciting event it's turning out to be. Carlsen, well, his last opportunity to make a birdie on the 18th, and he will know he probably needs to hole this if he's going to catch Coulthard. Coulthard in such good form. Coulthard 7 under for the day. And so is this man, and could he get to 8 under? Fine shot by Carlsen. Now Woosnam on the 13th, long outside birdie attempt. Putted so well this week, much more positive than he's been for ages, and that was right on line. Oh. Harry on the 16th, his drive. Well, Bernard Langer changed from a simmer-headed driver to a metal one, but Craig Parry still persisting with the wooden-headed club. But Coulthard out with a 1-iron. Shortest par 4 on the course, so Coulthard just playing for position, leave himself maybe a full wedge, or maybe a full 9-iron. Doesn't require heroics at this stage. Riley on the 14th. Must have watched Woosnam's putt come up the slope, but didn't go on to school on it too well. And unusually timid for the Australian man who won the Scottish Open last year at Glen Eagles, ahead of Montgomery and Faldo. Eels on the 14th. Nice, compact, smooth swing. Lacks a little bit of length off the tee, but certainly very accurate with his irons. And a pretty good short game as well. Done all sorts of jobs to keep himself with becoming a professional golfer. Part-time before he joined the tour, he was a milkman, breadman, anything to get himself on the tour. But now well established as one of the leading players in Europe. Familiar face a few years ago, Aoki. Started the day at 7 under. And he finished with a birdie yesterday, and he's finished with a birdie today. Loves the crowds. Round in 73 and a big smile. Well, round in 74 in fact. 237s. Winner of $1 million on the seniors tour, so won't worry too much about this week as Adam Hunter tries to get to 12 under. Quite fast going down the slope here, down the green. Nicely judged. And not easy, that putt in the rain. Well, Carlsen obviously in a little bit of trouble off the tee. So, in fact, this not a birdie attempt as I thought. It's actually to save a bogey. So disappointing finish for Carlsen, but if he can pop this one in, he'll recover at least something from it. Beautifully done. And didn't he enjoy that? Well, it may be for a bogey, but it won't mind. So disappointing each half, a 6 and a 5, but it's round in 66 for Ollie Carlsen. A great round for him. And, well, now in joint third place. And barring accidents, you would think the only man that can stop Andrew Coulthard from winning this event is Ian Woosnam. Here he is on the 14th. Oh, he knows it's online. Be the right club, he's saying. Well, over the top of the flag. Second to 16 for Coulthard. Very much a birdieable hole. Just a wedge shot. And he's still playing aggressive golf, just carried that bunker, so he's still looking for birdies, and that's the right way to try and play it. Don't change the game plan now. And this will be a big moment in Andrew Coulthard's life if he can win his first PGA European Tour event. He's come close. He really ran out of steam a little bit in the middle part of last year, but managed to regain some form with that third place World Cup finish with Sam Torrance, winning Alfred Dunhill Cup team with Torrance and Montgomery. So he finished the season well as Curry plays his shot to the 16th, and as he found the front bunker. Maybe try to judge it too finely. Eales, his birdie attempt to the 14th, just slipping by. Managed to birdie the hole yesterday, but not today. Now Parry. He's obviously looking for eagles. Usually plays his golf with a left to right fade shot, but you can't really do that with just a pitching wedge in your hand. And Couples on the 15th hole, his second shot. Played the shot of the week on Friday. Really snookered out with trees in front of him. He had to carry the water. He was away on that left-hand side, and he cut it 50 yards left to right to get the ball on the green. Today he's in more conventional mode from the middle of the fairway, but he's going straight at it. Needs to make clean contact if he's going to carry the water. And by the oohs and ahs of the crowd, you can see the ripples in the water. And if Couples thought he had a chance of winning, it's sunk with that shot. It's now going to have an awkward spot to know where to drop the ball. He's got to keep the point where the ball last crossed the margin of the Harrod in line with the flagstick. That won't worry Bradley Hughes on the 17th. First round leader with a 66. So just missing out on the chance to get to 13 under. He remains at 12. Now what can Woosnam do on the 14th? Down the slope, left to right. Oh, never hard enough. Never gave that a chance. and he's really fooled. That off tape, and that's left himself with the one that you don't really like, the left or right 3-footer, aiming it on the left edge of the hole. This is a must putt. Ooh, in on the right hand corner, and he's been pretty good with those putts all week, but they've just had one or two slip by it. But that's why he's had the resurgence to his form this week. And Couples walking the other side of the water hazard, trying to get as close to the green as he can. As up ahead on the 16th, Coulthard won't be aware of that as Parry putts for his birdie. And perhaps the field's beginning to sense that Coulthard is not going to crack, and as they try to force the pace to catch him, maybe we'll start to see a few more unforced errors like Couples. And Couples, well, ball in hand, obviously looking to find where he's going. So we'll leave Freddie Couples to sort out where he's able to drop as we go back to Coulthard. And I'm sure this would really clinch the tournament for him. So Daly on 18. Will this be his final putt? Not to be. So after a rather cautious putt down the slope, it's a par for Coulthard on 16. Couples finally managed to find a place to drop the ball. That's his fourth, so chance to save par. But he really needed the birdie. For Parry. Four back, 2 holes to play. And unless Coulthard does something really outrageous, he really not the chance now to catch him. This man really still has an outside chance. He finished with 3 birdies in a row to take the South African title last week. But he's got to find some inspiration, and he's got to find it quickly. And throwing the ball pretty high, needed to get it over that ridge to try and have a flat putt. So Daly finishes on the 18th. He round in 71. But 8 under par for his round. But 8 behind Andrew Coulthard. 2 holes to go, leads by 2 from Ian Woosnam, Ollie Carlson, and still painting a pretty good picture, Anthony, at 13 under. Whatever you do, don't go away. Rejoin us in a few moments after the break. And you rejoin us just in time to see Paul Curry drive on the 17th hole. This the final stage of the Johnnie Walker Classic. Already driven has Paul Curry, Andrew Coulthard, Craig Parry all hit the fairway, and Coulthard in very good position. Up ahead on 18th, Bradley Hughes. 4 under par for his round today. And pretty good shot to 18. Beautiful course, this garden course at the Tanner. Line down each fairway, a different species of trees. Trying to take a leaf out of the Augusta National, where each hole is named after a flower or plant. This one named after a tree. And a really beautiful place. Ideal temperature to play golf. And the man enjoying it the most, who's hottest, Andrew Coulthard, tournament leader at 16 under. Carlson in the clubhouse, that final round of 66. He's in at 13 under. But still out on the course, and still with an outside chance. Ernie Els. He's got a birdie attempt to get to 12, to get to 13 under. And really, ever since day 2, lost complete confidence on the green to know where the ball is going to move. Everything looks to be the same as it's always been, but the ball just not going off on the right line. But like all great players, still in there, still actually has a chance, even when everything appears to have gone wrong. And what's gone wrong on the 15th for Couples is he's been in the water, played a fine 4th shot, so needs this to save his par, remain at 12 under. Left hand below the right helps keep the left wrist firm through the impact area, and a good saving par putt for the title holder. And Anthony Painter, this was a few moments ago, his birdie attempt. And he's still playing along very nicely. 3 back, but probably just needs a little bit more confidence in himself to think that he can win. It's confidence that Coulthard requires over these final 2 holes. Just blitzed the ball today, and that's a really solid iron right into the middle of the green. Exactly the thing to do. And probably knows what's going on, knows with the leaderboard scattered around the course that maybe a couple of pars will be good enough. And Wayne Riley, another player to find the water that encroaches on the left-hand side, had a go for it in 2. Dropped it, so like Couples, this is 4th. And like Couples, played an equally good 4th shot. Obviously becoming the way to make a par on this hole. Bradley Hughes on the 18th. That for a 67, but not to be, so 68 for the Australian. 12 under par, 276 for him, and a pretty good week's golf. And 34. Had a few problems really off the course more than on it, but managed to overcome those personal problems now and producing some good quality golf. Paul Curry trying to move one in left to right on the 17th. Not his normal shot, but a pretty good result. Third shot for Woozy. Sensibly played up in the right spot. And looky out here. This tournament isn't over yet. Certainly not if this man's got anything at all to do with it. Wonderfully judged shot there. Just played it over that little ridge that runs through the middle of the green and stopped it on a sixpence. And it was that length of putt that really Ian Woosnam's not been able to hold all last year, but one that he's enjoying a little bit better at the start of the 96 Volvo Tour. Couples on 16, trying to get it as near to the green as he can. Oh, caution thrown to the wind. No point in laying up now. Left with little 3/4 pitch with sand iron or lob wedge. But Anthony Painter a little bit more sensibly laying back, trying to leave himself a full pitch. First time this man's really had a brush with first class leaderboard. And he's handling the situation extremely well. Full palette of shots to his repertoire. And Couples and Els enjoying a little joke as they move off the 16th hole. And a man probably not joking around at the moment, Scotsman Andrew Coulthard. Has won in Australia the 94 Reebok Australian PGA Championship, so he has won. He's won the Scottish PGA, but he's not won on the PGA European Tour, and it takes a little bit of courage over these closing holes to fully realize that you are capable of winning, and this is going to be your week. You have to stop thinking about, well, all eyes are on me, just got to concentrate, play one shot at a time, and actually forget what's happening. So hard to do, but so necessary. Oh, and he had the pace, and that's a beautiful putt. So easy to leave that 2 or 3 feet short and maybe miss the next one as you get a little bit cagey, but he's obviously still looking to hole putt, so still staying in the focused zone, as the Americans would say. Man that needs this putt to save par, Wayne Riley. Looking a little bit bedraggled now. Not only has he found the water, he looks pretty wet from the rain. Australian's wild man. Paul Curry, good week for him. This to move to 13 under. Oh, yes, sir. And Curry had a quiet time over the last few holes, but a good birdie on 17. And into a share of third place, and, well, a birdie at the last, and well, who knows. Woosnam, a must putt. Beautifully done. So he reduces the gap to just one shot, and you can sense that he's got the scent. And one of the few players that really enjoys being in the pressure cauldron. Paul Eales. Not really having the day that he wanted. About time he made a putt, but they're not going in for him. He's played steadily today after that double bogey. But things not going that well on the greens for him. Painter, second shot to 16. Oh, has he hit it hard enough? Oh, he has, but he's let it drift away to the right. A little bit of an unforced error. So a quick check on the leaderboard following that birdie by Ian Woosnam on the 15th. Coulthard only leads by 1 now. In the clubhouse is Carlson, and that birdie on the 17th by Paul Curry, moving him to 13th under par. Whatever you do, don't go away. We're going to take another short break. Rejoin us in just a few moments. Ages of the Johnnie Walker Classic. Quick picture there of Richard Boxall, who scored that 65 yesterday. But we move straight to Ernie Els on the 16th. 3/4 sand iron. And playing another fine shot. He's actually played so well over these last couple of days, but really just not had the putts going in. And look at that rain come down, and I can tell you when it rains here, boy does it rain. But the course beautifully made, and able to clear away even the worst tropical storm within just 15 or 20 minutes. As I said earlier on, the course totally flooded on the first day. Greens underwater, fairways underwater, and 15 minutes after the rain stopped, huge gullies took the water away and play was possible. And if you hadn't have seen it with your own eyes, well, it would have been hard to believe. So Woosnam on the 16th. So many of the other players trying to play for a position in the fairway, which will leave him fairly full pitch to the green. And that down the left-hand side. Bunker down the left-hand side, and a fairly generous fairway, 45 yards wide. The club members left it as they play the course, so it's given the players here every chance to make birdies. And Couples just flipping that ball in the air. And good shot to 16th, as back on the tee. Paul Eales has moved it away to the left-hand side, and that's not where you want to be at all. It's a question of whether he's in the bunker or in the rough. Coulthard on the 18th. Most important drive of his career, I'm sure. Must find the fairway. Oh no, and that's not where he wants to hit it at all. Now there is a bunker down that right-hand side. There is a slope down there. There's fairly thickish rough. 260 yards to that bunker on the right-hand side. But this green is surrounded by water, and all will depend on the lie. Curry on the 18th. And that's gone down the other side. But certainly difficult conditions, this rain. And I can tell you it's not light, it's not cold rain. Conditions here very warm, but still always a problem trying to keep your hands dry, keep firm hold of the club so you can make good contact. Els first to go with his birdie attempt, move him to 13. And we've seen this putt very quick. Has he got it online? Oh my word, well, it looked like it was coming in right to left, and I bet he couldn't believe that. And there's a man that is used to reading nappy greens, brought up of course in South Africa, where the nap has always been very strong, less strong of late as they introduce bent grass greens to their courses. But all the South African players pretty good at reading greens. But look at that, it looks like it's online. And then Knapp just taking it away to the right-hand side. And another birdie opportunity gone for Ernie. Couples, though, played a lovely pitch. Dropped a shot on day 2 on this hole by leaking the tee shot away to the right-hand side. And this also down the hill, a little bit left to right. Not Fred's favourite putt. And just tweaked it a little bit. And when you do that on a left to right putt, you hit it too high, it has then no chance of going in. So Couples stays at 12, but 4 behind Andrew Coulthard. Anthony Painter didn't see his first putt, but has this to save par. Saw his second shot finish away to the right hand side as he plays the hole, so putted down to here. And important for him to keep his round going. In 3rd place, probably not likely to win, but it's going to be his biggest check of his career. So he remains at 13 under. Now where's the ball of Andrew Coulthard? Has he finished in the bunker? And if he has, he'll have a very difficult decision to make as to whether he goes for the green. High bank in front of him as the jumbo comes into land at the nearby airport. Another awkward stance. It's time for Paul Eales on the 16th. Lobbing it over the top of the tree, over the bunker, and that a beautiful shot. It's not one they have in the textbooks, that's one of pure feel. But first to play on 18, in really the top match, Paul Curry. Medium iron shot for him. Ooh, and just getting it over the water. Sounded like he got a little bit of grass and water trapped between the club face and the ball. So you can see the sort of shot that's facing Coulthard, all of 180 yards, and he is in the bunker and he is going for it. Now this is a very tough shot indeed. He has a big lip. You can see he's got a maybe 5 or 6 iron, and if he's trying to hit this with a draw and he's made clean contact, is it going to carry the water? Well, it carries the water, but it's away on the right, and there's a bunker down the right-hand side as well, so excitement all the way to the 18th. And really, the error on this hole caused by that wayward tee shot. He's looking calm, but I can assure you, inside, well, the heart must have been in his mouth. Very brave to take on that shot. And never easy to clip it clean. At least he got it clean. Got it over the water. Parry's second. Seemed a little bit loose at the top of the swing there, almost having the club cross-lined, aiming away to the right of the target. And that's never a good sign. We know Coulthard's ball's not in the water, but is it down there by the bunker? Woosnam won't know what's going up ahead on 18. Asking it to get down, and it behaves itself, but not as near as he would like. Wayne Riley. And good style there by Riley. He's certainly not given up. May look a bit bedraggled, but inside he'll be still fired up. And you can see Colt out there as he's walking onto the 18th, blowing hard, trying to take deep breaths. See Woosnam just one back. Carlsen in the clubhouse. Curry with a birdie opportunity on the last to get ahead of Carlsen. And Painter doing pretty well with his par on the 16th. Warm round of applause for this man, Coulthard, as he comes to the 18th. And even with Woosnam's experience, he won't be feeling too calm inside either. Hasn't won for a year. And he'll badly want to get another win under his belt. Get that winning feeling back again. Move up the world rankings. And put early points together for Ryder Cup. Leaving the flagstick in, but once a game coming up shy, so that's 2 putts in a row that Woosie's left a little bit short, and one wonders whether the tension's eased and getting to him. So much will depend on whether Coulthard can get up and down on the last. Not an easy finish here. 2 longish par 4s, 17 and 18. Both over 400 yards, but this 16th, 359, the shortest on the course, the last real birdie opportunity. Paul Eales will know that, so he's desperate to hole a putt. And just let it get away to the left as Coulthard plays his chip to the last. Oh, my word. Well, no sign of nerves from Andrew Coulthard, and that was a really exquisite chip. And look at the smile that's coming to the face now. That really quite remarkable chip. What an effort, so near to going into the hole. And so easy it would have been to let that run by 5 or 6 feet, miss the putt, drop a shot, and maybe lose out his chance of winning this event. But this man made of sterner stuff. They breed them tough in Scotland. They're just going through the ball. Actually had a pretty good lie, but even so, they're never easy, having to come over a bank. And look at this. Oof. Almost in the hole. Perhaps gone past a shade more than I would have thought. That's that 2.5 footer, but this one of the better putters on the PGA European Tour. Really renowned for his putting abilities. That was the putt of Ian Woosnam just a few moments ago, and again coming up short. And Woosnam to tap in. So he one behind. So Woosnam 5 under for his round, 1 back on the last green. We hope this is the last putt for Paul Curry. Tough putt though. There's 2 swings in this. Downhill to start with, then uphill, and then swing right to left at the end. And judged the weight nicely, but not quite enough on the high side for it to go in. So a good closing round of 68 for Paul Curry, and a very useful start to his season. Not going to win, but he's going to bag a lot of money. Good opening front nine, 32, and just that one blemish on the 15th where he made the bogey. All in all, a good week's work. Another good week's work by this man. This to tie Curry at 13 under and just in the sign door. So, excellent finish by Craig Parry at 13 under par. And Wayne Riley, good birdie for him on the 16th hole. But all eyes now on this man, Andrew Coulthard. Not wasting any time, and it's in. And that is a fine round of golf from Andrew Coulthard. Finishes 16 under par. And could that be his first win on the PGA European Tour? So cool down the last hole there, out in 32, back in 33, and ties the two other players, or three other players, with a final round of 65. Three players already in with new course records of 65, and what a way to do it on your way to your first PGA European Tour win. This was Coulthard's little chip from the side of the 18th, so nearly going in. That certainly, I think, would have sealed his win. And really, the only man now able to catch him out on the course, playing the 17th, is Ian Woosnam. I'm sure Andrew Coulthard will check that card again and again, get his scorers to check it for him before he signs it. I remember coming in playing with the great Jack Nicklaus at the Open Championship when he won in 1970, and he checked his card no fewer than 18 times. Even checked it with the people walking around with him, with the marshals for the scorer's tent for the press room. So beauty drive there by Ian Woosnam on the 17th hole, perfect spot. And Painter will know now what he has to do. Needs to make an eagle and a birdie if he's going to catch Coulthard, which means that this little chip from the front of the 17th needs to go in. But if he can get down in two, more importantly, keep his momentum going, bag a lot of prize money. Confidently thrown in the air, but needed to hit that just a little bit harder. Certainly performed exceptionally well today in the company of Els and Couples. So still checking the card. Can't afford to make a mistake at this point, otherwise all your work over 4 days is for naught. And once he's done that, he'll move away, try and keep out the way of the cameras. He probably won't want to know what Woosnam or Els or anybody else is doing on the course. He'll have to stay focused, thinking he may have to go out in a playoff. Not that he'll want to do that, but he's got to keep his concentration going, even though he's finished. Well, Els, another wayward putt. Umpire signalled a wide. And here, previous winners. Ian Parner, first winner, and holds the tournament record. And look at the names that follow that: Faldo, Norman and Couples. And could it be, in 1996, the name of Andrew Coulthard? Couples birdie attempt on 17th. And both these two superstars, couples and L's, struggling on the greens. And I'm not so sure that they thought they may have got the bombardment of birdies and eagles that have come from Europe's best. And still in the scorer's tent, Scotsman from Thornhill, checking the card, trying to think over what he's done, and now time for a cool drink and a wry smile. Just being told by the officials to hang around, and important to stay away from press and media. Doesn't want to give interviews at this stage, just in case he's got to go back out. Painter to save par on the 17th, and that's a little bit of a nervy one. So he drops back to 12 under. And that is only second shot dropped of the day. 2 under par for his round. Now, how else can he hold this? Sort of day he's had, one might wonder. Yes. Taps in for the 4. Also 2 under par for his round. But feeling less of the pressure than playing partner Anthony Painter. Back down the 17th, waiting for those players to clear. Ian Woosnam. And first to play in that group, Paul Eales. A number of players now at 12 under, so it'll be good if Eales can birdie one of the closing 2 holes to break away from that log jam. Pin cut away on that right-hand side, so he'll be trying to move it a little bit left to right, and moved it a little bit more left to right than he would have liked. And that's on the beach. Woozy, very aggressive player. I'm sure he probably won't try and maneuver it left to right. He's a right to left player. Riley to play first. And you can see the pin just sticking up on the left-hand corner of the right-hand bunker. You can see almost vertically above Riley's club head. Oh, and has he dragged that away to the left? He has indeed. So somewhere in between that is the perfect shot. Woozy, as I said, a natural drawer of the ball, and his iron shots this week have been really out of the top draw. He's made it look particularly easy, and any time that this man makes the swing look easy, you know he's on form. Just let the ball overdrift a little bit too much on this hole yesterday, and a little bit of right to left wind, but really no breeze today. And you can see almost going right at it. He's set it off a little bit right of the flag. Is it coming back? Oh, it is, and again you can see right on line, but he just needed to skip forward half a club more. And what would he give for to be another 10 feet nearer the hole? But in the clubhouse at 16 under par, Andrew Coulthard being chased by Ian Woosnam. In the clubhouse, Ollie Carlson, Paul Curry, Craig Parry, and out trying to break away from that log jam at 13 under par, Wayne Riley. So Anthony Painter on the final hole, 18th of this Johnnie Walker Classic, the first event of the 1996 PGA European Tour, and the first on the new Volvo rankings program, which will end in October at Valderrama. Painter putting that bogey out of his mind on the last, drilling it down the last. And masterpiece of a drive for Painter. This is the tee shot of Ernie Els. Looks to be knocking it down the left-hand side, trying to move it left to right in the air. He's used a 3-wood for most of the week on this hole. And that right in the centre of the fairway. And a glorious sight. Really is a very beautiful course, this garden course. Even nicer when it's not raining. But play was started a little bit earlier today than over the previous 3 days, just in case there was more rain. Very sensible move by the tour officials, and of course it'll do the players no harm at all either. They're able to get away onto the next venue just a little bit quicker. So really the only person with any chance at all of catching Andrew Coulthard is Ian Woosnam. And there is Coulthard. Well, he wasn't finding a quiet spot at all and keeping his concentration focused. He's out there signing autographs. Probably thinks it's all over. This man doesn't think it's all over. Riley, his birdie attempt. Putted so well since he's changed to this long broom handle putter. More difficult with the longer putts. Takes a while for the players to get used to wielding the putter from that sort of length, but certainly can be easier to hold the shorter ones. Well, watch out, Andrew. You might need that right hand in a few moments' time, should there be a playoff. That's certainly going to keep his mind off things. Just showing there the rounds of 65 by Robert Willis, Park Nam Sam, and Boxall, and now joined by Andrew Coulthard. So 4 look certain to share the £3,000 on offer by Johnnie Walker. But can Woosnam now tie Coulthard with this birdie putt on 17? Well, that's the first one that he's had up to the hole in the last 3. So he's going to leave it till the very last hole. Looks like he hit a good putt. Maybe just a bit of a misread for him. And maybe news has already got to Coulthard that Woosnam's missed his birdie attempt, and he is furious. I do. The players sometimes keep themselves psyched up by making themselves angry to keep the adrenaline flowing, keep them trying to play aggressive. The last thing you can do is retreat into your shell. Painter playing his second shot to the 18th. So Paul Eales also drops a shot on the 17th. news coming to us that we're going to have to take a short break here in a few seconds' time to update you with some news on skiing, but we'll be right back after that. You certainly won't miss any action at all as Els plays to the 18th. So couples to finish up on the 18th, his second shot. And looks a good contact, just a short iron for him. Looks as if the club slipped a little bit, but we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a few moments. Whatever you do, don't go away. And we'll update you with some skiing information.
Thank you.
But first to go on the 18th, Wayne Riley led going into this final round at 12 under. Had a few disasters en route, been in the water twice. Now just 1 under par for his round. Still a good week for him. I'm sure he'd like to have tasted victory again, his last being the Scottish Open last year at Turnberry. And warm applause from this appreciative crowd here on the 18th. People have flocked out here in large numbers as he taps in for a par round in 71. And you can see those 2 ugly sixes really spoiling what could otherwise have been a very good round indeed. Paul Eales, well, nothing much has gone right for him today. Certainly the putts not been dropping, and he'll have that little short one there to be round in 73. He'll be disappointed with that. I know his coach Eddie Birchenough will, but he'll chalk it up to even more experience. Played so well yesterday alongside Ernie Els, even though he was outdriven by some 70 yards off most of the holes. Kept to his game plan and bravely holed at the last. So Eales round in 73 and, well, chugging off back down the leaderboard. All eyes now focused on this man. Ian Woosnam hasn't won since 1994, won twice that year. Air France Cannes Open and the Dunhill British Masters. Started well last year in the US, finished 3rd in Florida, but then things slightly went off the boil for Ian. Didn't play so well, didn't putt so well, lost a little bit of confidence, but now is this going to be the turning point for him? Tough putt this up the slope, quite a bit of swing from right to left, and he's been very tentative with the last couple. Can he do it now when he needs it most? Aiming a long way right, wobbling a little bit, but he likes it. It's fantastic. And Ian Woosnam almost nonchalantly rolling that in the hole. And I wonder what is going through Andrew Coulthard's mind. And I wonder what's going through his manager's mind, Andrew Chandler, or Chubby. I'm sure he's feeling a little bit gutted at this moment, but now a great moment for Ian Woosnam. And, well, there the story is told. Coulthard and Woosnam tied now at 16 under. Riley, Curry and Carlson at 13 in joint 3rd place. And Nam Sin from Korea, Bradley Hughes, Parry and Els in joint 6th at 12 under par. Well, they've gone back down the first hole. This is the first playoff hole. Both players finding the green, but it's Woosnam who's furthest away. And this long putt. And, well, coaxing it down near enough to the hole, but Coulthard hit a splendid tee shot and a splendid second shot to get it about 12 or 15 feet below the hole. He's just now going to wait while Ian Woosnam taps in. And could we have the tables reversed? Will it be Woosnam making the par and Coulthard holding the birdie putt, which will bring him his second title? First, Woosnam needs to hole this. Which he does so. So, a par on the 18th. All he can do now is sit back and wait and watch. And this man Coulthard is a very fine match play competitor. In this situation now, almost a match play one. Did so well in the Alfred Dunhill Cup when Scotland won. And he partnered Colin Montgomery and Sam Torrance to Scotland's first win in that event. So he's certainly used to being in this sort of pressure situation. He certainly looked so cool all day long. But it's different when you're going for your first win. We saw Woosnam's putt turn quite a bit from right to left, and not many players have kept it up on the high side from this part of the green. And he also failing on the low side. A little wry smile at Woosie saying, we're going to have to go on again. And with the plethora of birdies and eagles that we've seen today, well, who knows, this playoff hole might go a very long way indeed. So, all square after the first sudden death playoff hole. And obviously the first player to score a birdie or lowest hole will win the £100,000 first prize. As we move to the second playoff hole, the 17th, and Coulthard missed the green way, way, way on the left-hand side. Ian Woosnam, good tee shot, good second shot into the heart of the green. So tough chip and putt coming up for Coulthard. That banner not in his way. But this is a real bump and run. Pitched it in the bank. And whoa. Well, that is a good 18 or 20 feet past the hole. So advantage Ian Woosnam. And is it going to be the experience of the man who's won 27 times in Europe that is going to come on top at these latter stages? Coulthard did so well to get round in 65 earlier today. Really played some brilliant shots to the green. Holed out extremely well. And when he did so, a few signs of nerves on the 18th with the push tee shot. He played a brave recovery from the bunker, had a go for it over the water, and then, believe it or not, was so unlucky to miss out with his chip. Very nearly holed that. So a great par on the last for him, but it's now Woosnam. If he holds this, the Johnnie Walker Classic is his. Well, he was short on this green earlier on today. I tell a lie. In fact, he was short on the 16th. He actually got it up to the hole on 17 first time round. But maybe he thinks a par here will be good enough. Coulthard 20 feet or so away. And could this well be the winning putt? Just over £4 million Ian Woosnam's won in prize money since 1978. And he could well be on the way to collecting another £100,000 here. He would dearly love to win. Having a quick chat there with Phil Mobley, his caddy. Been his caddy now for some years, and they have a very good rapport, good relationship. But what can Coulthard do? Alone, nobody there to help him now. This to stay in the playoff and force it to another hole. If he misses, then he'll collect £66,660 for his efforts, plus a share of the Johnnie Walker course record bonus of £3,000 split between three other players. This to keep in the playoff. Oh my word, it looks good, it looks great. Well, honours evened on the 18th hole. It was Ian Woosnam who holed the putt to force the playoff. Now on the second extra hole, Andrew Coulthard produced a really fine pressure putt, and if you looked at that face, you wouldn't know anything at all. So back to the 18th. Ian Woosnam to go first, and he looks like he's hooked that way left into the trees. So maybe rattled by that putt from Coulthard. His drive's down the middle of the fairway. So I wonder what's going through this young man's mind now. He knows what's over on that left-hand side, and it doesn't look good. Woosnam behind a tree. And, well, there is a gap on that left-hand side. He could either play it through the gap and try and cut it back to the hole, or he could go the other side of the tree, a much more vicious swinging hook shot. And I think by the way he's looking, he's going to go through the gap on the left-hand side, and this is a very high-risk shot. See, he's fairly well back. Looks like a medium iron. It's got to be precise. It's good contact. Well, he's not going to see the end of it, but he likes the result, and that is, well, an amazing shot by Ian Woosnam, and not too far away from where he holed the putt to tie on the 18th hole the first time round. Crowds, well, really given extra chance to watch some really scintillating golf as Coulthard now plays his second to the 18th. And let that drift a little bit away to the right-hand side, but it looks to be just on the apron. He doesn't seem too perturbed about it, and even has the opportunity to share a little joke with Ian Woosnam. So not too serious a position for Andrew Coulthard. Lives in Thornhill in Scotland. Long approach, but needs to get this dead. Both players really with outside chances for birdies, so if he can just roll it down somewhere near, then the odds are that play will continue, and they'll just keep playing this loop, 17 and 18, until a winner is decided. Well, Ian Woosnam must know this putt pretty well now. He's had it nearly 3 times in a row. Various different lengths and slightly further right this time than when he holed it in routine play. But there you are. You can see big swinging putt, slightly longer in fact than the first time round. Can he do it again? Oh, he likes it, he likes it, he likes it. It's magnificent. And Ian Woosnam is back on the winning streak with a quite outstanding performance. And I must say, I feel so sorry for Andrew Coulthard. A quite brilliant finishing round of 65. He's done nothing wrong, but the man from Wales has done it. He's there, he's produced the winning putt when it counts most, and that is Ian Woosnam. Crowds here given a real treat. Peter German just patting Ian Woosnam on the back, saying, well done. And just have a look at this again. Well, I think he'd like to take this green home with him. Rolling truer and smoother than any putt he's hit all week. And how about that? £100,000 to Ian Woosnam. The consolation prize of $66,660 going to Andrew Coltart. So, Woosnam's back on the winning streak. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage with Eurosport. Make sure you rejoin us again for more golf on the PGA European Tour very soon. Till then, goodbye from me. Well done, Ian Woosnam.
The PGA European Tour was brought to you by Volvo.